Finally, we have gotten rid of that plastic-free packaging. And here we are, our very first G.I. Joe Classified of 2024 with the window boxes restored. We have Mutt and Junkyard. Welcome back to Blast Guys Reviews. In this review, we're going to be taking a look at Mutt and Junkyard. Here's the box, and it looks fantastic. You can see our figures and all of our accessories. Pretty cool. I love it. And here's the back of our box. Amazing artwork here. They look fantastic. Nice bullet point. All the stuff at the bottom we don't care about. This is 113 and in line, so we're getting up there in characters. Side of the box looks fantastic. I love the artwork from Mutt and Junkyard. Incredible work. There we go, the other side. There's the stats. There's the top of the box. There's the bottom of the box. And there's UPC. So I guess the $1 million question is, are these going to be available in stores or online? These are a standard release, so hopefully we can find these in our local retailers. Alright, here's Mutt right outside the packaging, and he looks amazing. First impressions, right out the cartoon. Love the aesthetics. I think they nailed it, and he looks pretty well grizzled up. It looks meaner than a Junkyard dog. No offense, Mutt. Here's Mutt close up. We're taking a look at that head sculpt. Looks incredible. He's definitely have a snarl on his face. The black mustache he's known for, his black eyebrows. It's like they definitely gave him some damage to his face now. It's like he's definitely taking some damage in some previous battles. That looks very cool. Nice touch to make him more modern. You can see he has like a shadow here, some black paint on this cheek. A 5 o'clock shadow. Even on this side, you can see that. Pretty cool. Short hair, nice texture for his hair. It looks good. And he has his chest hair. Very cool. He has his vest. It says red padding on the shoulders. We have this badge. Some shotgun shells. Nicely done there. Some pouches. The black zipper. Connectors. We have a knife sleeve. Pretty cool. On the back, just some black padding. That right over the top. Nice padding on the back. Looks pretty good. The arms, short sleeves or rolled up at least. Pouches on both sides here. And we have the hairy arms. At least on this arm. There's a black padded glove with the brown pads. This is so, if he gets bitten by a cobra dog or a wolf or something like that, he can put his arm out, get protected. It's not going to be Junkyard, or maybe it's even training Junkyard. Who knows? Moving down to the lower level here, we have a belt. It's just basic plastic, like brown. Nothing too exciting to look at. I'm not gonna paint, unfortunately. Do have a type of grenade there. Some red stripes on it. Almost gives you an idea from first impressions. Almost like a Chicago logo, but it's not. It's some kind of red label with print on it, but it's just scribbles. It has its green pants, nicely sculpted. Detailing with the pockets, the texture, the wrinkles on the clothing. We have the thigh pad here. It's a little low. Usually happens when you first get you got to probably place them where you want. Like that. Get a little black painted on there at least to give it some color. On the back too. Knee pads, brown knee pads, pretty cool looking. His boots, finish off the aesthetic. Brown boots with the black pads on the front and there on the top of his foot for some type of protection. I think he came out beautifully. I'm super excited for this figure, and I'm so happy to have him in my collection. I think he looks amazing. One of my favorite characters of all time. So for his articulation, see, you can look up pretty decently. It's pretty good. Back and forth, side to side, give you this kind of sick metal looks. I love it. I love this head sculpt. I think it looks great. Rotation 360. And there's rotation and movement here at the bottom of the base and neck. Hard to get a hold of once you remove the head, but it's there for additional range for your motion. Arms are on a ball joint to rotate to 360. Get you just above a T-pose. So far, our joints feel good. We have bicep swivel 360. Wow, actually bendable elbows. All right, double jointed elbows for the hand. Obviously, we have the 360, and then we have the up and down like this, like that. And this one here, can't really tell because of the pad. It's the up and down also on this hand. Pretty cool. I'm sure some kind of chest articulation there, but we got the vest on. We have the butterfly joints. Pretty good. Nice and, solid. Nothing falling around or moving around. Do some movement with this vest on. Like an ab crunch, side to side. There's rotation there. Kind of very stiff. I'm not going to do that. For sitting purposes, sitting our upcoming vamps. Nice. I can see Mutt and Junkyard in a vamp. It's going to look amazing. Split. Pretty cool. Even better that way. Pretty cool. Hopefully that's not blurry. Okay, there we go. Thigh swivel 360. Ooh, double joint knees can actually work. A little bit of ratcheting there. Nice range. Couldn't get a better range of motion than that. Is there a boot cut? Yep, there's a 360 boot cut. If you do pivot down, up, and around the ankle for that rocker type of aesthetic that you're looking for there for his photography and range. I'm getting cleaned up, and we'll start taking a look at some of his accessories. Alright, so looking at some of Mutt's gear, he does have his mask, and they've definitely spoofed this up a little bit because it has some red paint on the side there, some green on the front, which gives this ownership to Mutt. It's just fantastic. He didn't wear this a whole lot in the show, but I think that it's more for one of those toy throwbacks because didn't see him using a lot in the show. So it looks like you do have to remove the head though and get that to fit. A little bit of a stretch there, which kind of freaks me out a little bit. So I'll try to do this off the camera so I'm not wasting a whole lot of time. But it won't fit over top of his head anyway, so. Okay, I kind of stand corrected. It does fit over top of his head, but it likes to roll a lot. Like the band here. Just gotta be very careful. Getting past the nose is definitely something to be careful with because you don't want to get any plastic stretch marks on this. This is a pretty nice piece. I can see they'd be using this mouthpiece for a custom Scorpion or even a Sub-Zero type mask. That looks pretty good. I don't see myself using it a whole lot because I never did care too much for it because, I mean, now it looks amazing. I mean, before it was just a piece of black plastic, but it looks really good on him if that's something you want to go for. Overall type of look. I mean, it looks amazing. It's just, I do appreciate that head sculpt. And you do get two different types of goggles. I get a smaller pair with the gold type lenses. It's a small diameter, I guess if you want to put it over Mutt's eyes. And again, he kind of never wore these in the show, and I never really cared too much for hiding Mutt's face. And you can see that mask kind of flops around a little bit, so be careful with that. But if you want that overall aesthetic, you can. Okay, there it is. It's a little tricky because you start moving one and the other one, the mask wants to move, the goggles wants to move. It's an issue. Before I show you this set of goggles, I'll show you the helmet. So it's got some dirty weathering on it. You can see these helmets being used a lot, or some more of the green shirts. And I want to watch, I'll move all this stuff. So if you want this aesthetic, there's what he looks like. I mean, pretty much you can't even see his face. That's pretty cool. The helmet fits really, really nice on the figure. Okay, so I'll go ahead and get him geared down, and we'll take a look at the other pair of goggles because it's just the same thing we just seen. It's just a bigger set and easier for his helmet, like so. So I'll go ahead and get that off there, and we'll take a look at Mutt with his helmet on. One thing about Mutt, he had to have a mixture in the show of helmet on, helmet off type time frames in his episodes. So that looks pretty amazing, and they fit really, really nice. Okay, here's Mutt with just his helmet with the goggles applied. Looks pretty good. Of course, you can fine tune it once you get yours and put it on your shelf so it looks nice positioned in the center and straight. So for me, I'll probably use this the most because I do appreciate the head sculpt. So you can be with this helmet or without. And the other accessories are really cool. And who knows, may find a purpose for them in my universe. Now what's interesting, it comes with 6 hands. I could have done without them if they wanted to save them and cut the cost. I really don't need them or care too many about 6 extra hands. Now he has like 8 hands. But he does have this open hand. These are really cool because he can give commands to Junkyard. And he has a pointing finger one, which is pretty cool. Definitely to be intimidating or give commands to Junkyard like we talked about. Here's 2 more of a palmed hand, like he's asking for something. This is a unique, it's like he's holding something like this in his fingers, and I dropped it. But it's definitely a new type of hand there. I've seen that kind of position before in any of my other figures, so that's kind of cool. Then we have a fist, and then more of a, he's like got his hands closed kind of like this. It's kind of weird. I'm sure what you use that for. Maybe a knife hand. But nice, different positions. So if you guys are into that, there you go. Now in your package, you might have noticed when you do get yours, they have the hole that holds his knife way too small, and it's kind of warped a little bit. It's a softer plastic, but it kind of returns to its normal position. So there's this knife here, nice handle. It's kind of an old school 80s looking knife. Looks pretty good. And obviously you can probably pick whatever hand you wanted to put your blade into. But if this hand works, for me, for my purposes, I don't care too much for the review. You can hold it perfectly right there. I'm glad to see that the blade is painted and it has a place to keep it here on his chest, and it fits relatively perfectly. Doesn't feel like it's too tight to wear off the paint, but it's strong enough to keep the knife in his sleeve and not worry about falling out if you figure it does fall over on your shelf. Alright, here we have his sidearm, and what I absolutely love about Mutt's weapons is they're some of my favorites, and plus they have some green on it, which gives these ownership to Mutt. This is a fantastic sculpt. Drilled barrel for blast effects, smoke effects, and the plastic's pretty tight. It's really nice on this gun. Love it. I think this figure turned out beautifully. Hopefully we can keep this going in all of our offerings for 2024 and beyond. Let's knock this helmet off. Trying to get his pistol in his hand. It's a nice fit. Looks incredible. Don't like the helmet too much right now anyway. But there you go. Look how close you can hold that to his person. For close quarter combats, especially if he's kind of like an MP. He'd be hanging out with like Law and Order a lot, because I think it makes a good team, because you have the 2 different dogs and then you have the 2 security team members. Looks pretty good. That looks amazing. Absolutely love this. And then we have a place to keep it, which is also great. Yeah, not as tight as a knife, but it's not falling out. But it looks great. The paint on there is sticking out. Alright, so we have Mutt's nightstick. Nicely sculpted. Looks great. Plastic's a little soft, but not as bad. Not rubbery. And unfortunately, I don't see a place to keep this. So I think I might have found my first complaint about this figure, is that there is no place to keep his nightstick. All they simply had to do is put a hoop somewhere on this belt. There's plenty of space there throughout. Wouldn't have cost them any more money or anything else if they would have thought that through, just to make this more perfect than it already is. But it looks very cool. He holds up very well too. And here is his main primary weapon. Wow, this is incredible. I love this. It's one of my favorite weapons. I love the aesthetic of this. Stiffer than we're used to seeing. The front's a little more bendy than the whole gun. Removable clip. Looks cool. Stays in pretty good. Got the scope. Sculpting's pretty good. We have the green on it. Give that some ownership. That looks great. Alright, let's get him to give that up. And we will take a look at the M16, I think this is. Let's see here. Oh yeah, he holds up real nice. Gets out nice and close. Here's a drill barrel. Very, very cool. The knife sleeve doesn't really even get in the way of the figure's primary weapon either, so that's really good. I mean, yeah, pretty good. You can probably get a dual wield hold there if you kept, repositioning it. I don't want to waste a whole lot of time, but give you an idea how that looks. That looks great. All right, so let's bring in Mutt's partner, the one and only Junkyard. And just like Mutt, I strongly believe that this guy turned out amazingly. Here he is, nicely done, man. Looks like he's articulated to the nines. Pretty cool. We have it's a Rottweiler. Very, very nice. See that they've, upgraded him to more of a modern version very tastefully, just by adding the gear. It looks fantastic because the green just goes with Mutt. The side of him, we have some brown here at the bottom of his legs, and then his paws. Coming around the front here, the head sculpt's on point with the brown around the mouth, a little bit above the eyes. He's got a snarl. You can see his gums and his teeth. That looks incredible. Very, very cool. We have the black lining of his mouth also. Really went to the detail with this figure. Very cool. Then we have the brown here underneath of his neck. So this collar is not sculpted on. It's actually removable. You can move it. So that's pretty good. Here's the other side of that vest. There's a two-tone green. Same mistake here for the body of Mutt, or Junkyard, I'm sorry. And then you do have the back side, his little tail underneath. It's pretty good. There's some kind of like hook here on his front piece. It's sculpted, it's not usable. It's unfortunate. I don't think there's anywhere to take this off just by unplugging a peg. You see on top he has the pad with the handle. Maybe we can get a little Grogu to ride this boy or something. I don't know. Basically, I don't know why he even needs this because, he is a Joe dog and Junkyard respects the commands of Mutt at all times unless he's being brainwashed by Dr. Mindbender. But I'm sure there's probably some way, probably pop off the head and push that off because I think that's what I'm going to go for. This is amazing. Don't get me wrong. I like this a lot. This is fantastic. But I want the original aesthetic for Junkyard at this point. So very, very cool. For articulation, his head can go up and down. And get the side-to-side motion all the way around like a psycho pup. And it has come off very easily. So you can take off his collar if you want to do that. See if I can take this piece off here. Alright, so I want to show you, you can take this off. You got to pop off the head and kind of put his paw straight, like Superman. And then you just kind of work it around. It's very stiff as a snug fit. So you kind of work around the body until you can get it off. So I'm going to continue doing that. Alright, there is bare boned. You can see I even took the collar off and then added the alternate head sculpt that's included with the set. So it's more of a docile sculpt for his head versus his more aggressive head sculpt. I think I like this one better though. But this is incredibly painted. I mean, the tongue and the gums and all the teeth together. That looks amazing. It's a fantastic job. Eyes look good. And then removing the vest reveals, some more articulation here at the waist. 360 waist here. You have the up and down. Pretty cool. So here's that vest that's been removed. There's really nowhere to take that off. So that's the only way I can find. Pretty cool. You have options, and here you can see that he's sitting. I went ahead and put the collar back on, and my favorite head sculpt. But you can choose yours. He can sit very nicely. You even get him to lay down, which is fantastic. You can even get him kind of like ready to lunge, waiting for Mutt to give him command to attack. Kind of like leaning forward. And of course, you have to fine tune it, but you get the idea. So the range of motion for Junkyard is off the charts. Like, there's so much articulation in these legs. You got rotation here. You got a joint here. You got a joint here. You got the joint at the very base of his leg, the top of his paw. This one's a little harder to move, but it's there. So however you see fit, you have a lot of options for display purposes, playability. These legs are actually more articulated than some figures I actually have, which is a shame. So overall, this is a fantastic figure. Did notice that maybe we should have painted the black pads on his feet. That would have been, it's even more of a update to Junkyard. But looks very cool. I'll just knock this part over. You do get a lot for this set. Even like this hand could be a petting hand, So very cool. This set is, on the higher price end, like $44.99 at the retail price. I think it's a little high. I think it should have been around $40 at the most. You could have kept the extra hands, and I'd have been fine with that with a $40 price tag. Pretty cool. Highly recommend this. Grab this guy. He's one of the best. He's definitely in the lead for the best figure of 2024, even though we're only in January. So, hope you guys liked this review. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you in our next review.